From that point, I'm going to go ahead and transition it into the Ma'at and Mut, because these two go together as well. We have all been through stages of specific ignorance where we honestly just don't know any better than what we know. But there is a point where we have to know better than we know. We have to want to know better than we know. A lot of people avoid that because they know if you know better, you have to do better. And if we truly and properly overstood our languages and listened to our people who are living right now, contemporaries, our own family alive today, September 21st, 2014, our African right now who are still speaking these languages, if we just listen to what they're saying, it would eradicate this whole nonsense about black Muslims. It would eradicate this whole nonsense about black Hebrews. It would eradicate this nonsense about Moors. It would eradicate any bit of nonsense, including Christianity, that we are using to hold our own people down. That is why so many of our family is so afraid to study our languages properly, because it completely eradicates their entire ideology, which means, especially for Christianity, it eradicates our whole belief of what is real since we've been here on the American soils. That's been a very long time so far. So a lot of us don't want to do that, but we have to. So I continue. The word Ma'at, I'm born a Libra, as they say. And when I learned better, I said no. And then now I correct it when people ask me my so-called horoscope and all of these things. The word Ma'at, as we know, is the mother. Again, going back to what I said about why would a people who were predominantly matrilineal put a patrilineal name on their language? Well, Ma'at and Mut are both the great mothers and two forms of the creation stories. And also you have others such as Nunya or Noon and on. But I'm going to stick with these two right now. Well, Ma'at, the so-called Ma'at, as you know, she's the one who judges the scales. She's the one who weighs your heart. Well, she's actually the overseer of your moyo, your ruha, your consciousness, your mind, your guilt, your good doings and deeds. She's the one who weighs that out to see if you are able to go in the realm of the ancestors, as we call the Bakulu, the realm of the ancestors. Or are you supposed to go to the realm of the bad ancestors? And in order to understand what I'm saying, check out the book by Kimwandende Kiyabu and Sekifu Kiao called African Cosmology of the Bantu Congo. But Ma'at is always equated with scales. And even if you look at a lot of the legal practices today in America, they are represented by two scales. The word for Ma'at in Kinyarwanda, in Kiswahili, in other languages, as I say, Burundi of the East, and you can find it all over, but I'm going to stick to the East because as we know, Chikoma is in the East. But the word Ma'at actually is pronounced Mawe. Mawe. Why is it Mawe? Because Mawe means our mother, and it means my mother. And Kinyarwanda, it means our mother. But the interesting thing, in Kiswahili, the same word Mawe also means weights of scales. So that shows that Mawe is the mother, our mother, my mother, who holds the weights of the scales. You understand? So now, in other languages, the words in specifically Kisukuma would be Maya. The word in Sumbwa would be Mayu. And in Yamesi, it would be Umai. Same words. So then, if we continue on with Mut, not much is said about Mut. And you have certain ones, and I know we had a plethora of teachings. We had a plethora of representations and anthropomorphic figures about what we're explaining, not only about cosmology, but about nature itself. And again, Ntr does not mean nature is not the origin of nature. That does sound good, and I went with that for a very long time. But it doesn't mean that. Going back to moot, I don't hear a lot about moot, but moot is one of the most important words we need to learn about our languages. Bakuma told you that. Our people still tell you that. We still use the word in mother, mudder, or moot, for instance. But as I get into it, there was a mispronunciation from what we called it and didn't teach it to other people. And they transliterated it the best that they could. And now we get today, mother. But if we look at our traditions and customs right to this day again, the word moot, M-U-T, all throughout the east of Kukongo, would be pronounced Mwetu, M-W-E-I-T-U. And what does this mean? It means our mother, as with Mawe. And it also means the one united mother. Because we said that we all come from one mother. This mother, yes, we're saying it in a sense of a physical mother. But we're also saying it in a sense that if we came from a physical mother, and we still do, brothers and sisters can't explain that Holy Trinity with no mother. How you got a father and a son with no mother, I don't know. Sounds homosexual to me. But in order to give birth, you have to have a mother. You can give birth with a mother with no father. How do I say that? Komodo dragons still do it. Komodo dragons, when the islands of Komodo blow up, they go to another island and the mothers self-procreate. And they lay eggs with no male. Well, that's a lizard. Our brains and bodies are so far more evolved than those lizards. Our women could do the same thing at one time, people. And genetic studies have shown that there was a time period over 600,000 years where there were nothing but women on this planet because they were able to self-procreate. So we look at it and it says that we come from one united mother, not only physically, but also mythologically. Because you can't come from a mother physically and then yet come from a father mythologically. It makes no sense. There's no direct line. But not only does it mean it's our mother, but it means she is one. Mwetu. So then I look at Kikuyu and Kimeru, and that's pronounced Maitu. Then I look at Kikamba, and it's pronounced Mwaitu. Same words. So again, this is a plea and this is a cry for us to please do better than we have been doing. Because I see brothers and it's good to me. I still love it because it's something better. It's something better than just teaching our children English all the time. And I'm not calling names out just to call names out. I'm calling names out because you have posed yourself to represent a specific example of what I'm saying is our problem. And I see brothers like Brother Polite, who has taught his daughter how to speak this language of Mtw Ntr. And, got her up there speaking it nicely. And it's beautiful to see the young child speak the language. And then every time I see it, I cringe. Because I'm like, you are leading her to her own self-ignorance. Regardless how much you think you know about the language, brother. And we do this often. I made the same mistakes too. Look at my earlier lessons. Not even that long ago, I've made the same mistakes. But there was a point in time where I had to say something ain't right. So I look at this and I look at brothers use the names. And if we're still using these names, then what that means is our future is still being dictated by the people who created these names. Not the proper names, such as Mtw Ntr, Hr-m-Ikht, Mwetu. Not those names, because I know who created those. But I'm talking about the people that created Ma'at, the people that created Mtw Ntr, the people that created Hr-m-Ikht, the people that created Moot, such as the Champollions and the Wallace Budges, and the people that uphold it, like the Zahi Hawassis, before he got kicked out of the Egyptian Council of Antiquities. But we're still being dictated by them, brothers and sisters. So please let us not continue to fall into that pitfall. Please listen to Dr. Chancellor Williams and study the language properly. Please listen to Brother Gabriel Koisa and defend our heritage of our languages. Teach them right. Don't destroy them ignorantly just because you were too lazy to learn it. Same thing with my brothers that's supposed to be affluent in Hebrew and Israelites and all of this. Teach the languages properly, because if you do, you will see they're 100% Bantu. And Moors, I don't really have a whole lot to say to them. They just kind of fit in where they get in. Get in where they fit in. So that's my crime of plea. That's lesson 409. And I look forward to each and all of your comments. And as I said before, and apologies if I brought your name out, brother Mtw Ntr, if I brought your name out against your own will, I apologize about that. The only reason I did it is because I want you or anyone or anyone who can verify or invalidate what I'm saying, I want you to please correct my mistakes, or I want you to please expound on the things that I've gotten right, so I can help my brothers and sisters here on these soils of America, spelled with 3 Ks, KKK, on these soils to learn our languages properly the way that you speak them and know them yourselves. So with that said, I look forward to your discussions. Hamba Kahle.